Hello and welcome to this episode of the Healthy Business Podcast. I'm Sarah Cook, and today I'm going to be talking about procrastination and when we feel is the right time. And I want to really focus and delve into this idea of one day or day one, because I have had so many amazing conversations with incredible business owners, but something's holding them back. And at this time of year, when we are starting to reflect on how our year has been, but also starting to plan ahead for next year, it's a really useful thing to consider because so many people have goals and they have dreams, but they just wait to start working on them. And most people get stuck into this cyclical mode of just waiting for everything to be perfect. And I say this as a recovering perfectionist, where I wanted to make sure everything was the right timing, the right place. I was in the right place. And what I realized is that the perfect time is now, because we need to get started. And I'm going to share with you the reasons why we need to get started, but also how we can do that as well, because time is more important than timing. So if we think about it, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yes, of course, we're going to be juggling different things. But instead of trying to get really focused on the timing of something, let's actually start on something, because the most successful people are the ones that take action. People who are achieving their goals, people who are achieving their dreams, their targets, even in the most challenging of economic situations. And a lot of people are feeling that right now. So even in the most challenging situations, as well as the most thriving economic climates, the consistent theme in this is because they took action. They started working on their plans to hit their goals, hit their dreams, rather than waiting for the timing to be perfect. Because if we always have that in our mindset, we're always going to be waiting. So I'm going to share with you a few things on how you can start acting on your plans today. Because the first thing, you are never going to feel ready. You will never feel ready. Most people love to stall. It's in our human nature, because if we wait until everything feels good, feels ready, we're still going to be waiting. Even from that sort of perfect timing, we wait until we have our offer that's perfectionized. I'm not sure that's even a word, but you know what I mean, that it's absolutely perfect. But actually, our ideal client could have moved on by then. The current climate could have moved on by then. If we keep waiting, then we're always going to use that as a reason to not put it out, because there's always something that we can do to make it better. There's always ways that we can optimize things, but we need to take that first step. That's all we need to know. Whatever that first step is, making that first step and doing it, because we can figure the rest of it out along the way. Like climbing a mountain, right? Like there are different routes to get to the top. All we need to do is just take one step at a time to make it to the top. And I really want you to think about that as we go into next year as well, because the perfect time will never happen. There will never be a good time to get started. We will always find an excuse. All of those variables that you think need to be in place, they are never, ever going to be in perfect alignment. So the most perfect time for you to get started is right now. And the reason for that, or one of the reasons for that, is that sooner that we get started, the sooner you can be successful. And the advantages of really stepping into that and knowing that are huge. And the most relevant piece around this is that it means that we can achieve our goals sooner rather than later. And that's all why we're in business, right? We want to help people, we want to support people. But at the end of the day, you're running your business because you want to hit some goals. So the sooner you take action, the sooner you begin any journey, the sooner you are going to reach that destination. Think about even when you're in a car, right? Like if you are, heading on a journey somewhere, you're still going to get there further, even if you hit roadblocks, even if you have to take some diversions, than just staying at home and waiting. You will still get there faster because you are taking decisive action. And even though our human nature, as I said earlier, our natural inclination is to wait. It's to wait too long. And I don't want you to see your competitors leaping ahead of you and you sitting there wondering why everyone else is being successful, or, thinking that it's lucky for them, because the reality is that they've just taken action. And there are people out there who are way less qualified in what you do, but they are making a success of it because they are taking action, imperfect action, and they are moving forward. They are testing things, they are learning, and they are moving forward. So please don't be that person that waits, even if it comes down to investing in things, whether that is for your health, whether that is in your business, whether it's investing in time, your energy, your finances. Fortune comes to those that are bold. So if you take anything out from this, be bold and take that first step. The other thing that I want you to consider, and this is typical trait, especially for female business owners, is that we tend to overanalyze. We always think about what if. But what I would love for you to do is to reframe that into, well, what if? How can I make this work? Because the moment you step into that level of hope, the moment you start taking intentional action and thinking, gosh, anything is possible if I just start. And that's exactly what I want you to think about. Because sometimes life does unfold in unpredictable ways. Sometimes curveballs will hit us. That's a guaranteed. Life is constant change. But you know more than enough to get started. So take that first action. The most successful people make decisions quickly and they stick with them. And that might mean that you have to change your course. It might mean that you have to change your route slightly, but taking action. The least successful people are terrible at making up their minds. So they feel kind of conflicted for different reasons. And that primarily kind of comes through as fear. This could be fear of failure. It could be failure of success. Give yourself a time limit to decide, take that action, and then actually go and take that action. So if you stick with it, you are much more likely to move forward it. And this is a really great habit to develop. Examples include, even what you're going to be wearing the next day. It's one of the reasons that we hear from, Mark Zuckerberg, that he wears the same thing every day, because it stops that decision-making process. He's focusing on what he wants to do within his business. So he removes other decisions that don't need to take up his time or his energy. And I do this as well. I will quite often get my gym kit out, and the night before I will put it at the end of my bed so that when I get up in the morning, my gym kit is there ready to go. So my habit is therefore that I'm in my gym kit. It's more difficult for me not to go and do my exercise or practice my self-care. So really thinking about those little decisions that you can make that actually can have a huge impact on how you're living your life, how you're running your business. Again, it comes back to this decision making, this action taking, because the quicker you take action, the more you're going to learn. If we stay static and we're not prepared to open our ideas, we're not prepared to open our minds or even receive feedback on things, we're not going to learn, we're not going to move forward. So action is always going to lead to results, because every time we take an action, we learn from it. Even if it's something that didn't go our way, we can test it, we can tweak it, we can then test it again. You're not producing any results whilst you're sitting around and waiting for that perfect moment to act. So whilst you're at the end of the year, you're coming to the end of December, we're reflecting on this year, think about those decisions that you could have made. Think about where you might have been at the end of this year. Had you made those decisions earlier in the year? Thinking about what you needed to invest in, the support that you needed. And really lean into that for next year. What actions do you need to take? What decisions do you need to take that allow you to move forward and see the success levels that you want to as well? So as I said, the quicker you take action, the more you're going to learn, and you're not going to be sitting around waiting for that perfect moment to act. The other thing I want you to consider is that action leads to inspiration, because most people think, and incorrectly think, that they'll take action when they feel inspired. But actually the opposite is going to be true, because when we take action, that leads to inspiration. And inspiration leads to even more action. And this is one of the reasons that I love being in a mastermind, but also love hosting my Thrive Mastermind, because when we see other people take action, that inspires us to take action. When we are surrounded by incredible people who are taking those actions, taking those steps, making those decisions every single day, they are starting to get results, and they will continue to get results. And then they will continue to grow and scale their businesses and thrive in the way that they want to life-wise. For me, that is so important. And that's really the environment that I try to create, because, as I said, action leads to inspiration, and that allows us to keep learning. It keeps that growth mindset. It allows us to keep wanting to succeed and move forward for that. So one question that I would love for you to get super honest with yourself: what is the real reason that you're waiting? Now, the most common answer for this is fear. But if you never get started, there's still hope, right? Because we can't know for sure that your plans won't work. If you never begin, then you're never going to fail. But that for me is really sad, because the opposite is also true. If you never get started, there's no hope of anything becoming better. So if you never begin, then you're not going to get that success that you want to. So take a really deep breath, lean into this, and get started today. You will never be 100% ready or comfortable. So begin right now. Now really is the perfect moment to change your life and your business forever. And I say that without light. Like, it is so important that we step into that next level when we're stepping into the next year. Everything is available to you and everything is possible when you decide that it is possible, when you decide to take intentional action, when you decide to commit to your next level of success. Now, if you're 100% ready for this, then drop me a message at Sarah Cook Coaching with the word thrive. Doors are open to my mastermind for a limited number of spots, and applications are available to start in the new year. So if you're listening to this and thinking, do you know what, I just need to take action, drop me a message. I'm so excited to see who drops me a message. I think it's really always interesting when I set this challenge on this podcast as to who actually takes action on this. And this one, I really do want to invite you to take action because, as I said, if you never get started, there's no hope of you improving things. And if you never begin, then we're not going to get that success that I know you so want and that I 100% believe in. And I take pride in the fact that I 100% believe in all of my clients. And that is exactly why I work with coaches myself, because I need that support as well. Every time I up level, I can't always see that space. And that is why I take action. I commit to things. I'm surrounded by incredible people because I know that it's either one day or day one. And every single day you want to make count when it comes to running your business. This isn't about hustling hard. This isn't about doing things that don't feel aligned to you. This is about taking intentional action to start living the life that you want to, but also creating that next level of success that you totally deserve within your business. Look forward to hearing from you in my Instagram inbox at Sarah Cook Coaching. I would love your thoughts on this. I would love your feedback. So drop me a message and I will see you on the next episode.